welcome back. Today we are going to start our 7th chapter, Energy Management, and in this chapter we are going to learn about different forms of energy and how it can be used in judicious manner and about energy crisis. So let's start the chapter. Students, it is said that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Then how does energy crisis occur? Are the existing energy resources adequate to meet our energy needs? Let's see. Different sources of energy are to be used for different activities. Judicious and scientific use of different sources of energy without being wasted is a necessity of today. So let's examine different sources of energy. Fuels. Probably, heat might have been the first form of energy created by the ancient humans. Heat energy was formed from forest fires. Later, men made heat energy again by burning firewood. Hence, the first fuel might have been firewood itself. So, what are fuels? Fuels are substances that release plenty of heat energy on burning. The main source of energy that we make use of today are fuels. We use different fuels for different purposes, including for cooking in the kitchen. And we can classify the fuels into solids, liquids and gases. Can you say, do these fuels burn in the similar way? The answer is no. There are two types of combustion or burning: complete combustion and partial combustion. Let's see what are the conditions favorable for the complete combustion of different fuels. The first one, the solid fuels must be dry. Second one, liquid fuels must evaporate easily. Third one, the ignition temperature should be attained. And the last one, sufficient oxygen must be available for burning. These are the conditions which is suitable for the complete combustion of different fuels. So let's see the features of complete combustion. In complete combustion, carbon monoxide is not formed and more heat is generated. But in partial combustion, the gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc. are formed. Charcoal is formed in a huge quantity and it also causes the wastage of fuels. Thus we can conclude about the combustion of fuels that fuels burn with the help of oxygen. Generally, complete combustion is a reaction in which fuels react intensively with oxygen, producing carbon dioxide, steam, heat and light. If sufficient oxygen is not available, the rate of combustion decreases. If oxygen is not sufficient, large quantities of carbon monoxide, soot and a little of carbon dioxide will be formed. This type of burning is partial combustion. Having to learn about the problems caused when carbon monoxide mixes with atmospheric air, pollution test is conducted to know whether the components in the gases released from the vehicle exceeded the permissible limits. Students, that's about complete and partial combustion. And the next topic is fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are formed by the transformation of plants and animals that went under the Earth's crust millions of years ago. The transformation took place in the absence of air under high pressure and high temperature. Coal, petroleum and natural gases are fossil fuels. They are not replenished or renewed in proportion to their consumption. Hence, they are non-renewable energy sources. So students, let's learn more about fossil fuels. First one, coal. Coal is the most abundant fossil fuel on the earth. The main component of coal is carbon. Based on the carbon content, it is classified into 4 groups as peat, lignite, anthracite and bituminous coal. When coal is distilled in the absence of air, the substances obtained are ammonia, coal gas, coal tar and coke. So coal is the most abundant fossil fuel on the earth and its main component is carbon. And based on the carbon content in it, we can classify the coal as 4 groups: peat, lignite, anthracite and bituminous coal. When coal is distilled in the absence of air, the substances obtained are ammonia, coal gas, coal tar and coke. Next one, CNG, LNG and LPG. We make liquefied natural gas, that is LNG, and compressed natural gas, that is CNG, from the natural gas obtained along with petroleum. The main component of all these is methane. These are used as fuels in vehicles, industries and thermal power stations. The importance of LNG is that natural gas can be liquefied and transported to distant places conveniently. It can again be converted into gaseous form at atmospheric temperature and distributed through pipelines. So, the important component of LNG and CNG is methane. And the importance of LNG, that is liquefied natural gas, is that it can be liquefied and transported to distant places conveniently, and it can again be converted into gaseous form at atmospheric temperature and distributed through pipelines. Next one, LPG. The full form of LPG is liquefied petroleum gas. This is a colorless, odorless gas obtained through the fractional distillation of petroleum. Domestic LPG produces an odor since ethyl mercaptan is added as an indicator to detect gas leakage. The main constituent of LPG is butane. So what is LPG? LPG is the liquefied petroleum gas and the main component of LPG is butane. Normally, LPG is a colorless, odorless gas, but in domestic LPG, we can feel an odor because an indicator ethyl mercaptan is added to it to detect gas leakage. Students, that's for today. In the next class, we are going to learn about LPG and safety. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.